Hello, our viewer. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching from or the hour you'll be watching this video. Welcome to Faraja Swift Chat. My name is Jeffrey Sambasa. Yes, today we are here again to check our lives. The main aim of this show is to see the kind of life we are living, what is expected of us. How are you as a person? Yes, and how are you to the next person? So on set, it's our usual beautiful life coach who is ready to guide us and take us through the steps that we need to know and take us through this life journey on where we think we've been doing it right and maybe we are doing it wrong. So the purpose of this show is to learn. Make sure you learn, you unlearn and relearn. Whatever you know is wrong, just unlearn it. And whatever you know you've not been doing it and it's the correct thing, learn it and relearn it. So I take this opportunity to welcome you.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself again to our viewer, because there are those who are seeing you for the first time.
Yes.
And there are those who are already used to you and are seeing you on set. So for the sake of those who have not seen you on set, kindly introduce yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey, for having me. Hi, viewer. My name is Coach Blessed Abby. I'm a life coach. I specialize on mindset, transformation, and holistic wellness. I'm the founder of Abby's Holistic Wellness Hub. And so every day, on a day-to-day basis, I work with individuals to empower them just to discover who they really are, discover their authentic selves, and become who God called them to be. And so that is what I am called to do, and that's what I do joyfully.
Good.
Yes.
Yes, and for your comments, you can follow us on Faraja TV Media, that is our YouTube page. You can also send your comment on our Facebook page, and that is Faraja TV Kenya. The topic today is so interactive, and I know it's going to touch on all of us and even our audience, because it's something that affects everyone and it can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
Being that May is a month of health, mental health awareness. So when we are doing this episode, I want us to have an open mind. How is the society receiving mental health?
Yeah.
As individuals, how are we receiving mental health? So when you're told that you have a mental issue, do you just unakasirika unasema ameniita mwenda wazimu, or do you appreciate and let people help you however you need help? So first of all, I want to appreciate everyone who is recognizing that May is a mental health awareness month. We all supposed to participate and create the awareness that is required.
Yes.
Make the next person know. Because there are people who are going through it and they don't know. So if you're privileged to know, make the next person aware. So let us cooperate and make this awareness so that we are able to help each other. So running from 12th of May to 18th, I think that is the active week that we're all supposed to participate. And according to National Council of Mental Well-being, this is what they say: we should proudly recognize mental health, mental health awareness month this May, all of us, right? We should bring attention to mental health issues, and thirdly, we should help reduce stigma. So this shows that there is stigma that comes with mental health. And then, according to the World Health Organization, that is WHO, such global public days and weeks offer great potential to raise awareness. Number one, are we aware? So for them, the first thing is to raise awareness and understanding about health issues and mobilize support. Is there enough support for this person who is suffering from mental health? And now there has to be action. There is awareness. Are we putting in the best action to elevate or to reduce the mental health issues among people, and from the local community and also on international or globally. So what are we doing locally and globally, and as well as a family? Let us also look, leave alone the community at large, in your house. Maybe one of you is suffering from mental issues. How are you receiving that person? How are you helping that person?
Yeah.
So first is awareness, because if you check the two bodies I've read from them, it's awareness, and then we should mobilize for action. So because you're on set, I know this week so many organizations are going to come together to celebrate creating awareness for mental health.
Yeah.
They'll bring in different efforts. So to break down to the normal person, what is mental health? I want you to define to us what is mental health. When we talk of mental health, what do we mean? Yes.
Thank you, Jeffries. This is a very timely conversation, because in my practice, I've encountered people who are aware and are not aware.
Yeah.
So some people know what is mental health and some are not. So for Faraja TV to, get plugged into this conversation, that is so commendable.
Yeah.
So mental health is the state of our psychological, social, and emotional well-being. You see, Jeffries, what we do, the actions we take start from our thinking. Then our thinking escalates into feeling. You cannot feel before you think.
Okay.
And then it escalates into action. So if you are in a healthy mental state, you will think powerful thoughts, you will have great feelings, and then powerful actions. But if you're struggling, it's the vice versa. So when we are talking about this, we are looking at how are we doing internally? Are we struggling or are we thriving?
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we talk of mental health, inaanzia kwa kichwa ama?
Yeah, it's kwa kichwa, that is mental, and then emotion. Remember I talked of thinking. So thinking, we think through our heads. Then emotions. And then now it goes to what we do. Now that's when we start seeing, and we know Jeffries has an issue. That's when we start saying so-and-so has a mental health issue or a disorder. Yeah.
Then I want us also to make the normal person understand, because these terms sometimes they are big until a normal person anaona kama si zake. But these things is for everyone.
True.
We all living because it's for the living.
Yeah.
So we are all living. So I want us to use the simplest terms to make everyone understand.
Yeah.
So that in one way they will participate, and also in another way they will help, and they can recognize a victim of mental health.
Yes.
So when we are saying that this week we are creating awareness of mental health issues, what is awareness?
Awareness is calling attention to, or asking people to focus on something. This is something that would go unnoticed, but now you're calling people to notice it. Mental health is something that affects us internally. Now looking at you like this, I could think that you're very okay.
Yeah.
But now with awareness, we educate people on the symptoms, on what exactly are the signs of mental health issues, and then we speak up. So that will help eliminate the stigma that you talked about. So, when we speak up, when you speak up, when I speak up, when somebody else speaks up, a person who is struggling will feel this is normal. It's a normal conversation. And so awareness is just that bringing it to attention. And every healing starts at the point of awareness. You cannot heal from something you're not aware of.
Yeah.
And so, if you have a mental health issue and you're not aware, then you don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Again, we are sensitizing people on support, that there is available support. So it's about educating people, sensitizing people on availability of support, and speaking up about it, and showing people that mental health is something, as you said, something that affects everybody. It doesn't discriminate. And so when you are in this space where now you have a mental health disorder or an issue, then you start feeling it's okay for me to seek help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've touched on it, but let me just we spell it out again. Who is affected by mental health issues? Can we say it's only older people, it's only the youth, it's only children? Can a child be affected?
Yes.
So can you specify for us who is affected by mental issues?
Mental health is a human issue. Everybody can be affected. It doesn't choose between the rich and the poor. It doesn't choose between the stay-at-home mom, for example, a CEO in a big company. We have seen people we have expected to do so well in the society commit suicide. Why?
Yeah.
Yet everybody is dreaming to become like them.
Yeah.
So children, yes, they are affected. Children go through bullying in school, for example. Haven't we seen children commit suicide? A friend of mine told me of a nephew, is it a niece or a nephew, who the mother went out on normal daily business, only to find this girl hanging herself, a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
And up to date, the mother has never healed. She was feeling like she's neglected, nobody understands her. So that's a teenager. So children will go through bullying, they will go through negligence sometimes, and that affects them. Fear, anxiety. Teenagers will go through identity issues. They are not understanding themselves, and so they start having that issue of who exactly am I? They feel like nobody understands me. We've had Gen Z say nobody understands us. Millennials and Gen X, they don't understand us. And so if they don't handle it objectively, then it becomes a mental health issue. Young adults, they are going through transitions. You've left college, you have pressure to find a job. People are beginning to asking you, when are you marrying? When are you getting married? You're married, when are you having children? And all that. And all that pressure.
Yeah.
Stress, financial stress. Then come to adults, now say our age.
Yeah.
All responsibilities
On
from
you.
work to money
Yeah.
to your parents. And then I've seen like my age mates now, unfortunately, our parents are aging. So I tend to have many of my friends losing their parents. Now that's an issue. It's affecting us. Look at the old people. They go through loneliness. They go through feeling neglected. Maybe you're alone in the village. Retirement Jeffries is another thing. Haven't we seen people retire 3 to 5 years, they are gone?
Yeah.
Because they cannot handle this change as well as they should. So it cuts across. It doesn't discriminate between anyone. So anyone can be affected.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe before tuendelee mbali sana, can we clarify that mental health, if you have a mental issue, si wenda wazimu?
Yeah, you see, one thing that we will bring to awareness, even as we have this conversation, is that mental health is just the same as physical health. You see, right now, if I told you, Jeffries, I have a stomachache, you won't stigmatize me. You'll actually lead me to help. You will ask me, go to the doctor or do 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
But mental health, people don't really think about it, and that's why this awareness is important. We need to get to a space where we realize it's part of life, that our mental health is something that affects us every other day. And so it's important to give it attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now if we look at it, do we say our society is really recognizing that these people with these mental issues, they really need a special support? Has the society embraced that we are supposed to give them this support and not assume that they are pretending ama ni wenda wazimu?
The theme this year is turning awareness into action. And that tells you that to a large extent, we are aware, especially people in the urban. In the rurals, not so much, because in the rurals, it's still termed as other things. Mtu amelaaniwa, you know, mwenda wazimu, people think you're mad. So yes and no. Right now, people recognize it, but not all. And people recognize support, but the challenge I see is that both the affected and those living with people affected appreciate that mental health is an issue, but then they don't take action. For example, before we came on set, I was telling you about somebody who I was told, actually it's somebody who told me, a friend of mine, I realized, is taking antidepressants. So this person knows for her to go and take antidepressants is aware that she has an issue. But she has stayed with it to the extent that now it has become a clinical issue. She's now taking medicine. And I ask people, why wait until you get there? Why wait until you see stress is a normal thing in life? In fact, it's a normal response of animals and human beings to have stress. But then if you allow it to overstretch, it overstretches your nerves, overstretches your brain cells. Now that's when it becomes an issue. So people are aware, but then they're not going for the help. That's the issue. Yeah.
Okay, maybe our life coach you guide us. If at this juncture, the society where we come from, do they really recognize that these people with mental issues, they really need attention? Do we really recognize that mental health is a disorder that is supposed to be addressed? So from your perspective, do you think the society and the families that we come from, they recognize that these people need a special attention? Yeah.
The theme this year for Mental Health Awareness Month is turning awareness into action. So what that is saying is that at this point, most people are aware, but we are not putting in the action. We are not doing what we need to do to help people overcome mental health issues. So yes, people are aware, but again, yes and no. Now looking at the Kenyan society, people in the urban are more aware. But what about the rurals? They are not that aware. And so support is not, it's given, but not to the level that it's supposed to be given. There is an area that is still lacking. And so that is why talking about this awareness, bringing it out to people. And again, the victims, the ones that are supposed to seek help, are not yet that comfortable seeking for help. You find somebody who needs help but is not going for help. For example, there's this lady who shared with me about her friend who she just realized is on antidepressants. Now, why did it get there? Is it because people around her are seeing her having a mental health issue but are not responding to it? Yes, she has taken the step and gone for medication, but did it have to get there? So we are not taking action as we should, and sometimes when we do it very late.
when it is too late.
Yes.
And for example, this is something, for example, in the society, uko ushago. Unajua people can see you behaving in a certain way.
Yeah.
Wakulabel tu huyo anakuwa mwenda wazimu.
Yeah,
And maybe it's something that can be addressed.
It's either this person is mad, they have been bewitched, they have a spiritual issue and all that, that huyo amekosea Mungu in a certain way.
Yeah.
So especially in the rurals, the help and people don't even want to associate with you. Now that's where stigma really is, because mtoto wa fulani has a mental issue. That family has a problem. You can even hear a family being branded. Hiyo familia ni ya wenda wazimu. Or a parent who has a child with a mental health issue, and instead of embracing the child and helping, either disappears. You can see maybe a father who disappears because he thinks it's the mother who has an issue, giving birth to children who are not mentally okay. So yes, there is that issue, especially in the rurals and even in the urban sometimes. Yeah.
And then you've talked of your stigma. Are there common stigmas which is associated with mental health?
Yeah.
Are they? Is it something we can overcome? Yes.
Yeah, stigma is still there, because this is not something we have embraced. I could say it's reducing, but it's still there. That when somebody has a mental health issue, people think they are acting up. People think they are ni drama. Akona drama, you know. People think you're not strong enough. Why are you having these issues? You're not strong to handle it. And so, because again, people will fear being labeled, they die in silence.
Yeah.
They don't come out. So that by the time you realize this person has an issue, or even when they go to say it, it's at an advanced state. So the stigma is there, and when somebody says, goes to the hospital, or you tell a loved one, I think you have an issue, you may need to see a psychiatrist. They just tell you, why are you branding me mad? Mumeanza kuona nimekuwa mwenda wazimu. So the stigma is there, and so it, you know, awareness calls on people to talk about an issue. Stigma makes people die in silence.
Yeah.
It's like shut you up not to speak about something. Yeah.
For example, you are a parent or a relative to this person. How are you supposed to receive this person? Because this is not someone who was born in that way.
Yes.
It is a behavior that comes and change in the process. How do we address it? How do we check? Maybe you as a life coach, you've met these people. How do you now come to check the lifestyle of this person until now you get to the root cause? Because you find someone is affected, is a bit grown up, but maybe that challenge ilianza utotoni. How do you bring them on board? Because you will find he's a victim or she's a victim and they are not ready to open up. How do you guys go about it?
So, for example, you talked of a parent, you're a parent, and all of a sudden your child or somebody in your home who was babblish, who was happy, joyful, all of a sudden withdraws, starts staying alone, doesn't want to go out with friends. That's a sign that something is not right. You need to talk to the person or take action. You are in a workplace and this person comes. Somebody was was orderly, somebody was organized, their desk was perfectly organized. All of a sudden, the desk is decluttered. They are coming to work with an ironed clothes, and maybe they had very well ironed shirts. This person to the extreme is drinking. What do we do that is wrong? We give them warning letters. We
Especially in the office.
Yes, we follow the company procedures, which is good. But then the question is, what is causing this? Especially when it's something that is not a behavior issue that you have observed for a long time. Then you need to ask yourself, what is causing this? And so in that space, it would be critical or important to call this person and just ask questions. How are you doing? What's going on in your life? I have noticed 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Would you be open to help? Do you think what exactly? Sometimes, for example, if it's an employee or somebody under your authority, they'll love the fact that you cared, and that's a gift any employer can give to the staff. If it's a child, they'll feel like somebody, maybe this child is feeling no one actually sees what I'm going through. You know, we all love being seen.
Yeah.
So when I feel seen, then it makes me feel that I belong. And so I can now open up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if they fail to open up completely, what do you do?
That becomes a challenge because that happens. You will notice that this person is actually sinking into depression or something wrong is happening. Jeffries, there is an extent you will not be able to help somebody because the Swahili said, you can take a cow to the river, but you cannot force it to take water. But then you will have done your part. So sometimes they are forced to go to places they can have care. Sometimes they are tricked into it. All these things, but at least we have to do our best.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you notice somebody is drinking too much, smoking too much, sometimes they are forced even into rehabs, and later they are grateful for it. So do what you can at your level, but then you can only do so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
At this juncture, we need to go for a break. We'll sip a cup of water and come back